someone to give about me. I'm looking, I'm searching, I'm looking, I'm searching, I'm looking for someone to give about you. I'm looking, I'm searching, I'm looking, I'm searching, I'm looking for someone to give about me. I'm looking, I'm searching, I'm looking, I'm searching, I'm looking for someone to give about you.
It's from the love that's in me. I love the love. I am so grateful for the enemy, but yet they still attack me with the envy. They're trying to clog my drain, leave me empty. They say I'm honored every week. I say humbled and grateful, not to feel weak. Let the church speak. I'm on the wall, but they just can't take the. What's happening? What's happening?
I love it.
Great rising, everybody. Happy Saturday. We're going to start off by shouting out our producer engineer in the building. None other than Jake is rocking with us this morning. We're grateful. He's so professional. Thank you so much, Jake, for being here, getting us all set up and ready for the show today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in live. I see y'all. Don't forget, tap in. I would love to have y'all as a guest as well. If you're not in Chicago, we can come on virtually. Yeah, COVID taught us some things. This show is dedicated to those who have put in countless work. Some of the names we don't even know, but they've done so many amazing things for us to be in seats like these, to be in studios that were built. You understand? People who have bloodshed and tears, sacrificed. Yeah, they wanted to see future generations better. So they put that work in so we can sit here and be better today. So don't forget, when you complain about what you don't like, what ain't good, there was somebody that put in work for us to be here so we could be good. And we're grateful for that. I want to say a special shout out to the Brian Gorman. Brian Gorman, thank you so much, for it was your vision, your leadership for us to be in the studio, in the building, Brownsville Podcast Studio, to have the show based on community, based on getting to know people and what they do so we can better connect and collaborate and do work together. The Chicago Community Activism Podcast was born through the visionary leader and the Brian Gorman. Thank you so much, Brian. Love you, brother, forever. Thank you for your vision and your leadership. My parents, I'm humbled and grateful to have been born from people who care, who cared. My father is a recent ancestor. The late Reverend Dr. Kwame John Porter was a pastor, church in Inglewood, Christ United Methodist Church. He was a leader, visionary. He ran for office. The great late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. campaigned for him. There are so many pictures. If you Google him, you'll see him. He was up there with his clipboard. You know, we didn't have the internet and computers then, so tablets. So they all had their clipboards. My father was appointed by Dr. King to be the first SCLC chapter president for Chicago. That is the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And my father took that position with pride. My father did a lot of work here. He was one of the founders of the great organization, the National Rainbow Push Coalition, housed right here in Chicago, by none other than the Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. Shout out to Push. Today they're having their annual Push convention, and it is met with a lot. Shout out to Pastor Jamal Bryan, who's in town from Atlanta, who has led the Target boycott. Right now, today, several stores have closed, and they have lost $12.9 billion with the B dollars. That means that us standing up, us fighting back, us not shopping where we're not welcome, where we're not wanted, where we're not higher up in the company, is valued. Thank you so much. That is all in alignment with this podcast and what we do here in terms of sharing the good news of the community. Without further ado, I'm going to get right to it. Our guest needs no introduction, but he's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've known him for some time. I have been following him for some time, literally, like getting in the car and driving where he's at, okay? Not just on social media, like literally following the old school way, because he's amazing. He brings a lot to the universe. Without further ado, I'm going to let him tell it. Our guest today is none other than our good brother Shawn Wallace.
Thank you so much.
How are you today?
My God, that intro is amazing. I'm doing good. It's a good day. It's a good day.
Yes, sir.
I was trying to hurry up and get here because I didn't know what traffic was going to be like because we got all these protests.
Yes, absolutely. Lots of protests.
You know, all over everywhere, all at the same time, all over the country. That's like, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a lot.
That's what we got to do.
That's what we got to do.
That's what we got to do.
That's right. That's right.
So, yes, in a day where I got to run around a bit,
mm-hmm.
you know, it's like, okay, now I got to get here before this time.
That's right.
Get here before that
That's
time.
right. That's right. Got to manage everything. And thank
Yeah,
you
it's
so
all
much
good.
for being a guest today and for managing your time to be with us.
No, thanks for having me.
Man, for
Thanks
those
for
who
having
don't know, who is Shawn Wallace?
I grew up on the south side of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And you start talking about parents, man. Oh my God. My mother Lorraine Wallace was a adult probation officer for the Circuit Court of Cook County.
Mm.
And my father, Emmons Wallace, was the decorator foreman for the Chicago Tribune building.
Wow.
Now, but I won't say but, and they were like heavily involved in the community. It was always about PTA. It was always about what petition to get the community voted partially dry. People don't even know what that is, or whatever that is, or taking out petitions for Harold Washington to become mayor. You know, that wherever it was, or just being parents on the block.
Yes.
Just being the old school, like we raising everybody kids.
Come on now. That's right.
On the block. That's just mostly what it's about. I fell in love with music at Roseland Christian School. The school no longer exists. Under the direction of Lester Moody. He's Reverend Lester Moody now.
Nice.
An absolute genius music teacher. At this little school, this little Christian school on the south side, we had 3 bands.
Wow.
3 choirs.
Wow.
Everybody took music.
Yeah.
It was
music was the thing.
Music was the thing. We would go to competitions with other schools in this Christian school league and wear them out.
Wow.
I'll say it like that with that kind of pride.
Go ahead. That's right.
Just wear them out. Then the Merritt School of Music opened.
Come on, Merritt.
And he sent us down like, oh, y'all go audition. So I'm a Merritt baby.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the beginning of it. And it never let me go. I tried to run from being, from music.
Yeah.
Because, at that time, it was like, go get them good jobs.
Yeah.
Go to school, major in this, go get you good. And, parents just want you to be self-sufficient.
That's right.
It's all good.
That's right.
And it was just like Michael Corleone. It's like it just keeps pulling me back in. I tried to run from it and couldn't.
Yeah.
And so I just I just kept doing it.
And when you say doing it, what exactly were you doing in music?
I mean, playing keyboards, singing, production, songwriting, composing, like whatever, engineering, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Running live sound, like
engineering, just
whatever it took.
Wow.
Being involved in theater, being involved in dance companies, being involved in, just whatever it is for the art to move forward is just what I do and what I'm not gonna stop doing.
I love it. I love it. Now you talked about Merritt and the Roseland Christian Church community. Who else was around? Like, who inspired you? Who are those people?
I have to pay homage to Bobo Brown. The Oscar Brown the third.
Come on, Bobo.
And just what he did, what he stood for. I only interacted with him, a couple of times. He was always so gracious and cool. And then, years after he passed, I spent several years working with Maggie Brown and Africa Brown.
Come on, Maggie and Africa. My sisters. Come on,
and sitting at the feet of the music that Oscar Brown Jr. did.
Oh yeah.
And Coco Brunson.
Come on.
I'm looking at charts that he did.
Oh yeah.
And just learning, oh my goodness, I have to give Maggie Brown is one of the most amazing music director.
We love you, Maggie.
Singer, songwriters.
It's interesting. We're about to celebrate what would be the Oscar Brown Jr.'s 100th birthday. You know what I'm saying? So we've been working on that. A lot of good stuff coming. For those who don't know, please tap in with Oscar Brown Jr. Look up Oscar Brown Jr., everybody. If you're not familiar, please do. He is the father, you know what I'm saying? The original I mean, made instruments, created a genre of music, just the signifying monkey. Come on now.
Oh man. Oh, and my dad had his albums.
Yes.
Now something before he transitioned and he got to tell Maggie, like,
wow.
oh man, I had this album and that album and this and that and the third. So just man, when you're around that, it gets in. I think another person I have to mention is Daryl Trent. He's a producer I work for, and he's still a big brother to me, and he's got a few years on me. I'm not gonna say how many, but he looks probably younger than me, and so that it's along the way. So many people would be that way. They wouldn't look their age,
right.
And I'm like, okay, how do you do that? They do what they love to do.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work.
You're enjoying it because you like what you do.
Yeah, so I was Daryl's production assistant, and man, we did jingles, we did album projects, we did this and that. And so the old school back in the day, reel to reel recording in the studio, both of us hands on the board, doing a mix, just learning how to produce, learning how to work with artists, learning how to get stuff done. And again, he's every once in a while we call each other, hey man, what's going on?
Right. What you working on? What you doing?
What you doing? What's happening?
Now you talked about producing. You produce for a lot of people. Who are some of those other people that you produce for? That names people would know of.
Well, definitely. Today. I mean, today, especially in and around Chicago, but then across the world is Ugochi.
Woo! We love us some Ugochi.
We started working together.
Afro Soul.
Decades.
Yes.
ago, and just started collaborating. Yeah. And she was on spoken word scene.
Come on.
And writing songs and has a voice that only sounds like her.
That's right.
That's the thing. She opens her mouth, that's Ugochi.
Come on. You already know.
You know who it is when she opens her mouth. And so it has been a great honor to work with her for all these years.
Yes.
And then another brother, another fellow Igbo brother of Ugochi's, not her blood brother, but just the same ethnic group. Obi Soulstar. So just been working with him.
He's amazing.
And us being brothers and being girl dads.
Yes.
That's the thing. That's also a thing we share. Having daughters, and that's a unique fraternity. You know what I'm saying? Men who got daughters in his own. So those are some of the main times. I mentioned Africa and Maggie Brown.
Yes.
And there's other folks in and around Chicago. I've had the opportunity to back up, quote unquote, real famous celebrity people. But I don't know. I even tell my students all the time, what's the difference between them and you? Yeah, they're just famous. That's the only real difference. It doesn't mean they're more talented.
No. That's right.
It doesn't mean that they're necessarily more successful in their heart. It doesn't mean, and I've seen, I tell you, one of the humblest, hardworkingest cats I ever worked with was Bobby Brown.
That's beautiful.
And people don't,
That's beautiful.
I mean, it was like, you think he came, hey man, my name is Bobby. How you doing?
Oh.
And was cool and hardworking. And, oh yeah, y'all, my fault. I messed up. Take it again. And it's like, that's one of them people that, oh yeah, he's been doing this since he was 10, 11 years old.
Come on.
You got to give him, you know what I'm saying?
You know what's interesting about that? I went to my business partner, shout out to Melanie Brown, and we had a contract to go to California some years ago when New Edition came back together and they got their Hollywood star. And while we were there, we got to go to the reception and then like the after events with the whole group, and Bobby was exactly what you said. I mean, just so gracious. It was people that came late. The flights were late. They came late. He waited for everybody to get there, to greet them, to thank them. Bobby Brown. That's real.
Yes.
Real talk.
I mean, gracious dude. Like,
yeah.
Like, you think, oh, this level of quote unquote star is going to be.
Yeah.
No. And I mean, that's been the consistent thing, man. I got a chance to work with Rakim. He talked about, being in jazz band in high school and playing tenor sax and, work with DJ Quick. DJ Quick knew the keys of stuff. It's this chord. Like, he's a musician.
Yes. Yes.
Another one that's just, man, gracious and patient
Yes.
and, wants to get it right. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, kind-hearted.
Kind heart, like, oh my God. And yeah, I mean, you start naming names and then you start getting nervous because you're like, well, if I don't mention so-and-so, if I don't mention so-and-so.
No, but I've seen you like at so many events with Rosh. I'm sorry, Common.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I've worked with Common, work with him, Again, another brother is just, that's like one of the greatest, quarterbacks in the huddle.
Come
like
on,
the pre-show talk was just
go
like,
quarterback Common.
it's like, it's okay. He preaching a sermon. Like, we about to get it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. When he gets in it, he's in it.
We get in it.
It's over with.
So yeah, it's in theater. I've worked with Felicia Rashad.
Oh, she's amazing. You talk about if Gracious was a person.
Gracious. I mean, you like if we knighted and ladied people here, that's
Gracious, man.
Just And, I mean, it's like I said, there's names. There's names, but again, you start dropping them.
You gotta
keep going.
Right.
You gotta keep going.
Chicago is a tale of two cities. We've got certain parts, and it's so segregated still, in terms of the demographic of the landscape of the city. What would you say has been like one of your most memorable moments in the work that you do in being Chicago?
That's interesting. That's a lot of moments.
Oh, wow.
I think, well, I've had the honor of working with an organization called Story Catchers Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And we work with young people who are, and I mean, youth, juveniles who are either currently incarcerated, and then as they maybe, when they became young adults, either formerly incarcerated, fighting a case, on probation, parole, and we get them to tell their personal stories, and we turn them into like short musicals and take them out in the community and perform them and talk.
Story Catchers, nice.
And the organization shut down last fall, but the founder of the organization is probably going to keep going and continue to do that work.
Awesome.
So I think it was one of the times where there was going to be some racial unrest, but in particular between our community and the Hispanic community, and we worked with other organizations like CRED, but we were telling our young folk, okay, hey, we don't need to go and do, we don't need to act out in that way, because that's what we're being poked to do. So let's catch that before that even gets becomes something that's we don't want.
Correct.
Those young people there, like I tell my current students, I'm a teacher at Shy Arts High School. I got to shout out Shy Arts. And I've told some of my students, like, working with young people that are your age that are locked up. Yeah. That probably come from the same block you come from. They're in the house right around over there. You know what I mean? And to really stand in that, there before the grace of God go I.
Yes. Amen.
And how it reinforms how I particularly work with young people. In terms of they don't really need our judgment. Yeah. They don't need our unrighteous judgment.
Come on.
They need to be uplifted and healed. They're still held accountable. They're gonna be held accountable.
Absolutely. Sometimes they need someone to listen to them.
And I mean the stuff you hear when you get close enough to them and just they really begin to tell their stories. Yeah. Of like, well, this is what happened to me, or this is what I was around, or whatever it is. And then it's like, aha, we got to get in and help fix that.
That's right.
And again, it can be in a conversation. It can be in showing up for them. There's one young man who I worked with who had been in the juvenile system and was probably, was going to get some adult time as well, but it got to a point where he had showed the state, like, he's okay. He's gonna be all right.
All right, nice.
But I remember one time going into where he was housed at the time, and we just had a conversation about the NFL playoffs. And so, and then because I was just there to do something else, like to set up something that's for upcoming show, something. And so we just had this whole conversation, and afterwards he said he said, "Hey, thank you." And I was like, "For what?" "For just being cool."
Oh wow!
So he just wanted to be a young man talking about football, like I'm not locked up right now, like I'm not
I
whatever.
Have a real conversation about something else that's relevant, that's current.
You just treated me like a human being,
regular person. That's right.
You know what I mean? And he went on to become an advocate for young people after he was released.
Nice.
He became an advocate for working with them, going back in, working with them to help them transition.
Wonderful.
And again, just interacting, just being
love
human.
It. That's amazing. You're leading me to my next question, which is, what do you say to that young person? Like I said, Chicago is a big city, third largest. We have our challenges, but it's a beautiful city too. What do you say to that young person that's riding a train back and forth because they have nowhere to go? They don't have the family support, or they have not tapped into the village, perhaps. What do you say to that young person to give them some encouragement?
First, you got to see them. The see. You got to see them, and you give them that look of respect.
Yeah.
Our young people need, it feels weird to us as, becoming, and I'm saying this, becoming an elder. Because we think, these kids don't respect, and they don't, but they need us to give it to them, and then it returns to us.
That's real. That's real.
Is this some of the stories we've made up about old school, you gotta respect your elders, you gotta well, yeah, but now we have to respect them.
Yeah.
We have to respect them, and then it comes back. You got to see them and look at them and be open. And sometimes just say, "Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?"
Like really see them.
Just
acknowledge them. Say hi.
I mean, I went to the University of Illinois in Champaign. We had a custom, a rule amongst the Black student population when I was there. If you pass a Black person on the quad, speak. So I do that in my neighborhood.
In real life.
I do that in real life. I be on there like,
that's right.
Hey, if I'm walking and we make eye contact, hey man, how you
what's
doing?
happening? Yeah.
Like, what's happening? Hey, the Black man head nod. Something.
Come on now. Absolutely.
Something.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that will give them the overture to maybe even approach you.
Absolutely.
Even if I saw one of the guys I worked with when he was locked up, and I'd always tell the guys, if I see you out in the world, don't get brand new. I'm just gonna speak to you and say, hey, we good.
Yeah.
This thing.
That's definitely the language in the world.
Yeah, in the world. Like I see you in the world.
Yes.
And so I saw one young man standing outside Jewel on Roosevelt. He was just standing out there, and he was obviously just begging.
Okay.
And so we remembered each other. Hey man, hey Mr. Shawn, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? And he just said, hey man, I'm not on no BS. I got a job, but it don't start till whatever, a week or so, and I'm just trying to get enough money to buy some diapers for my kid. And this and that. And I recent game, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because he was that dude, I could tell. It's like, yeah, he's not
really trying. Yeah.
He's trying. He's like, I ain't trying to be on what I was on.
Right.
Like, here, man, here. You good? Yeah, thank you. And that's it. And that's not charity.
No.
Those are just things we have to do, or if we can do them.
Correct. It's really an investment also.
It's an investment. Just do that kind of stuff.
To see them through, and it doesn't cost us a lot.
No. Just do those little. It's the little things.
Speaking of those little things and those investments, who is it that you've yet to work with that you would like to collaborate with? This is also a show of building relationships and building collaborations. And connections. Someone watching may have a resource, or we may have a resource that we can make that connection happen. Who is that?
Oh, wow. Man, anybody that wants to write or continue writing a musical
Mm.
from the standpoint of Black culture, Black history. Again, I work at Shy Arts. We got all these Black and brown, you know, and young people of all races and
Yes.
genders and expressions. But then I started looking like, okay, how many quote unquote Black musicals are? And I'm like counting on one hand. And I'm like, oh, doesn't mean that you can't do Bye Bye Birdie. It don't mean that you're not gonna do.
Right.
But it depends.
Right.
When you get out of school, are you really gonna get that shot? And so we got enough stories to tell.
Yes.
We got all the music we got all of it.
We sure do.
So anybody that wants to work,
come on,
do a musical, helps get some songs written, arranged. That's like really what I do. That's where I'm at. You know, we can talk about it. You know, it could be, hey, no, you know, you need to go work with this person.
That's cool.
Yeah, let's work. Let's do some work and get it out there.
Yeah.
That's the stuff. Again, being exposed to Oscar Brown Jr.'s work and all the musicals, essays, sonnets, poems, lyrics to already established songs. I've asked people, you know, do you know who wrote those lyrics to Afro Blue? You know, you heard Erykah Badu and then Robert Glasper version.
Come on.
And it's like, yeah, okay. But do you know who wrote those words?
Come on.
Oscar Brown Jr. wrote those words.
Come on.
You know, do you know who?
Come on.
You know, and so, yeah, we need that. We need that. That's if I hope that answers your question.
No, that definitely answers the question. That's
yeah.
powerful in what you said.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I work with a lot of artists too. And that I had never even thought about putting the artists together to do a musical. You know what I'm saying? And it is only but so many. You're right. I mean, I love August Wilson. You know, I love Raising the Sun. But to take these original stories of ours and take it to even the protests happening nationwide today. One of them is called No Kings. I had to go deep and say, what do they mean by No Kings? It's a really deep meaning behind that. To put that into the format where we can express ourselves and enjoy it in a musical form. Everybody loves music. Music brings people together from all walks of life. And
the thing I say about art, period, art is the technology for accessing the subconscious mind.
Wow. One more time.
It's the technology for accessing the subconscious mind. Pictures, movement, sound, color. When, you know, that's the language of dreams. And your dreams reveal what's in your subconscious. And so if you really want to, we all know if you're born at a certain time, everyone knows the preamble to the Constitution because they know Schoolhouse Rock they know that song.
That's right.
And when I was a kid, we taking the test, that was the bonus question. Write the preamble. Everybody in there humming like
we the people in order
and just getting it.
Yeah.
You know, so there are cultures around the planet that's how they encode all their information.
That's right.
It's songs.
That's right.
Is the dance, is the music, it's encoded with information. That's where we come from. That's what we do. That is as I like to say, AI has already been invented. You know, our oracle systems are AI.
Come on.
So let's just tap in and keep doing it. Let's just keep doing that.
Yes. Look, in closing, this show goes so quickly. I'm like, wow, man, this show is built on community. If you could define community from your genre and what you bring to the universe, what is community?
Oh, it's going to be what you probably heard before, common unity, right? It is the oneness. Oneness does not mean that we all got to think the same all the time. It means that we can come together for the benefit of us all. That means that anything that happens in our community affects the community. As you're not isolated. You're not off over there unto yourself.
Yes.
Right? And so we can work together and we can build, we can heal, we can do whatever it is in a real community. Even if we're not in control of everything, we can be in control of what we think and what we feel. And how we share and how we communicate with each other.
I love it. Like, that was nice and simply put, but very, very, very effective. I want to say thank you for taking out the time to come with us today at the Chicago Community Activism Podcast. This has been delightful. I've learned a lot.
Thank you.
You know, growing up in the African Center schools, we would say, I did some African things today.
Ooh,
I did some African
I
things
love
yesterday. And I will do some
Some
African things tomorrow. You know what I'm talking about? So
that.
you have really elevated the frequency. Thank you.
Thank you.
Special shout out to the Brian Gorman Trek. That's TRECC Foundation. Please tap in with Trek, everybody. Bronzeville Podcast Studios. The Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum. Ron of Illinois. Sista Afrika, of course, yours truly. African Enterprises and Africa Cares /humble. We want to say thank you to Jake on the boards. Please go out. Follow the Queen's page for all the Chicago events. Juneteenth is coming up. There's a lot of great stuff happening. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
We are who we've been waiting for. We are we got. We are our own songsters. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking, I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm searching. I'm looking for someone to give about me. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking, I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm searching. I'm looking for someone to give about you. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking for someone to give about me. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking for someone to give about you.
It's from the love that's in me. I love the love. I am so grateful for the enemy, but yet they still attack me with the envy. They're trying to clog my drain, leave me empty. They say I'm honored every week. I say humbled and grateful.